We believe in our capacity for self-government, or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves. You and I are told increasingly we have to choose between a left or right. Well, I'd like to suggest there is no such thing as a left or right. There's only an up or down.
It has been long overdue to expose the truth that the Democrats and Republicans are sucking the life out of America's liberty and usurping our rights at every turn. Now is the time to seize our civil liberties and take back our individual rights. Here on Southern Liberty, we will expose it all. With his musket on his back, the Declaration of Independence in one hand, and the Constitution in the other, here's your host, Roderick Threets.
Happy St. Patrick's Day for those of you that decide to celebrate it. Hopefully no one pinched you too hard for not wearing green. I'm just saying I'm going to be belligerent if you try to pinch me for not wearing no damn green. That's real speak for everybody. Stay away from me and your green pinching, because you might take away my green thumb. So with that being said, still, greetings to you on this St. Patrick's Day, and ultimately welcome to the weekend. We've survived another week, but not for seeing the forest for the trees, as the expression goes. We in the woods. We are in the woods, Miss Kel. We in the woods.
Kind of looking that way, isn't it?
We in the woods. Hey, check this out. Mm-hmm. Somebody had messaged me through my website, right? I want to hear something funny.
Sure.
They're like, I've listened to your show for the last 2 months, Rod, and I have never heard you call out white people on your show.
Okay.
Look. As I'm reading this, I'm sitting here like, the fuck? Wait a minute. I don't do what? Oh Lord Jesus! What are we doing here? So I said, so my co-host on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays are white people, right?
We crackers.
Right? He said, we crackers.
Well,
look. I'm sitting here and I'm like, why would you even ask me a question like that? Then I started thinking, oh, you must be one of those people. Then kind of find out he's one of them people. One of what people? One of the self-hating white peoples.
Oh, well, there's not much we can do for people like that. Look, other than say, honey, I'm sorry that you feel so badly about the way you were born.
Look,
I'm sorry you feel so badly about your parents.
Look, so I want to call that particular individual out for trying to insert an aspersion, right? That doesn't make any sense, because look, let's keep it real, Miss Kell. Let's keep it real a second. I don't. Homie said I don't call out white people, but what are the majority of people in government?
White.
I'm just saying, like,
what is it? Okay, now, and I have a question for you. What is my favorite name for Elizabeth Warren?
Oh God, it ain't Pocahontas, that's for sure.
No, it's a lot worse than that. It's Focahonky. Look, and the fact of the matter is we call out everyone on an equal basis. What we're talking about is politics. What we're talking about is social justice issues. What we're talking about is the world as it is today in America and American government. And, politics knows no color. And if that's the lens you're going to look at everything through, you have bigger fish to fry than whether or not Rod is calling out white people.
Look. Speaking of that, he that guy. It's a guy. I'm not going to call his name out on air, right? But he's getting the exposure that he wants right now, since he wants to bombard my inbox with emails. He's going to get the exposure he wants to over 1 million people, right? But here's the thing, right? It's guys like him, that set up quote unquote other melanated folk to get ousted for saying the wrong thing. Prime example, my man Eric Mays up in Flint, Michigan, right? Yeah. Let me tell you something. Eric Mays, let me tell you, that's one dude. We need 435 of those in Congress. I mean, if you've never watched any videos of Eric Mays, he's on the Flint, Michigan City Council. Actually, he just pled guilty to disorderly conduct in a government setting, which is asinine, right? Yeah, but,
it is. But there it was,
The dude, every single council meeting, this dude is just going in, holding his own skin folk accountable for the Flint, especially for the Flint water issue. They're sitting there doing nothing about it. Well, we got to do this. He said, no, damn this. No, this is some bullshit. He was just saying right at the dance, just like that. Like, this is some bullshit, bruh. Like, y'all need to come up off this. And then you have the little people, you're out of order. You don't have no decorum. He's like, fuck your decorum. People out here are fucking dying because of the fucking water, and you want fucking decorum. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, he cusses them out on a nightly basis. It's funny.
Well, and the thing that really bothers me about the Flint, Michigan thing, and I'm going to flat out say it, what happened to all the money that has gone to Flint to replace their water system?
And it hasn't been replaced yet. And that was back during the Obama years. That's back in the Obama years.
And it's been continuous. Trump gave them money as well. Yep. Biden has given them money, if I'm not mistaken. There's millions of dollars that have been sent to Flint to repair that water system, and it's still not been done.
Yeah, exactly my point. And but here
Eric's calling it out like he sees it, and I absolutely guarantee you he's right on that.
Oh, he's dead right. And here's the thing, right? Even though he is a Democrat, right? He's a Democrat. Right? I mean, but doesn't matter when it comes to, life and sustaining the community and things like that. When you're in the wrong, you're in the wrong. And when your fellow skin folk is pocketing the money the federal government is giving you instead of improving on the water system, that's a major problem in that city, and you're facilitating the killing of your citizens that look like you. I'm sorry. I'm with this man 100%. Period. That's just how that goes down.
Well, and you look at it, the majority of the people affected are in the poorer communities. Okay? They're having to buy water still.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can't afford that.
But I bet you that dude that wrote to me, right, is one of those guys that would try to get fellow skin folk to get him removed off that council because he's calling out the right thing, because he has no right to call out he has no right to call his fellow skin folk for the bullshit. He probably thinks Eric Mays is the type of guy that contributes to white supremacy because he is dogging out his fellow skin folk. Now, I'm gonna go out on a limb and cast that aspersion, because I'm sorry, you write me an email like that, a couple of emails like that, that's my safest assumption from what I can see. That is my safest assumption, and I think everybody else kind of sees the fair assumption in that also.
I do agree with that. It's just one of those things where you don't call out white people at the same bullshit. Dude, get your head out, please. See a proctologist, please. You have a serious case of rectal cranial inversion, and it needs to be repaired.
Look, speaking of water, though, when was the government? When was the government going to tell Minnesota about the 400,000 gallons of radioactive water that's been leaking?
Never, if they could get away with it.
Well, look. They reported it. XL Energy reported it back in November of last year.
Yep.
And the government just now said something about all this water.
Yeah. Did not make the news. Was not released to the public for Thursday. Gee. Thanks, guys. Not only are you poisoning people with dioxins up in East Palestine, but now you're turning them into glowing green radioactive people up in St. Paul.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the water is contaminated, right?
Yeah.
With what was it, tritium, right? Now, those of you that don't know, tritium, right, is a hydrogen isotope. Okay, and it's a I would say it's on a scale of 1 to 10, it would probably be like a 2 or a 3 when it comes to beta radiation. With tritium, but it has been attributed, right, to increase the risk of cancer if consumed in extremely large quantities. Now, here's the thing: 500,000 gallons of water leaking. Yeah, that's a problem.
They still have not identified the source, and I'm going to say this: tritium. For those of you who own firearms, you know what tritium night sights are. This is the radioactive isotope that's used to make those night sights.
Right.
It is low level, but anything at low levels, if it's gone on long enough, can be deadly. So keep that in mind, and keep in mind that they, number one, have not identified where the spill came from. In other words, they don't have the source for it yet. They don't know. I thought they said it was 400,000. I've heard as high as 450,000 gallons.
Yeah.
And it was released into groundwater.
Yep, it was released into groundwater, yeah.
Which means it's probably seeped into your aquifers at this point.
Yep. But we don't see the EPA out there right now. Right.
No. Well, the EPA doesn't test for that kind of thing. They're not testing for the dioxins over at East Palestine. Why the hell would they test for radiation?
No, not at all. We're just gonna kill some more people. I mean,
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah. Oops.
But yeah, we're worried about the elk and the reindeer and the polar bears up at the Willow.
Oh yeah, the Willow
Reserve.
Bay, right? The Willow Bay thing. Yeah. That mind boggles me. That mind boggles me, right? It not for nothing, right? Not for nothing, right? Like, this administration sat here, right?
Yeah.
Right? During their campaign, right? And said, oh, we're going to do away with fossil fuels and we're going to try to go all electric and go all in. And he's been allowing oil drilling permits on the sly underneath the radar, Willow Bay being the biggest one up in Alaska. That is part of the National Strategic Reserve, what you call it up there?
Drilling Reserve,
Right? It's part of that. He just says, oh, we're just going to give you a lease. But I don't see people. I need y'all to understand, right? How this government will placate you. They will have you straight placated. If you have not learned by now through the Trump presidency, right, how they placate you to get what they want, they just did it.
Yeah.
They straight up lied to y'all and told you that, yeah, we got to do something about the fossil fuels and, all this. And, we're going to sell off the strategic petroleum reserve that we have to China, to try to go more green and all this stuff. Well, and then next thing you know, it's like he's doing new leases, not in Texas, but in Alaska.
Yeah. Not in Texas, where they already have everything set up to drill. It's what really bothers me the most about this is the fact that you have all of these so-called experts chiming in all over places like CNN and MSNBC. Well, we're not going to need fossil fuels in another 5 years. Why would we need to drill? Excuse me. That's incorrect. And if you're claiming to be an expert on energy and you're saying that, you need to hand back that crackerjack license. Because that's foolishness. It's absolute foolishness.
Yes, Lord.
Let's be honest with this. Just about everything we use on a daily basis
is made from
either
hydrocarbons.
Produced. Wait a minute. It's either produced using hydrocarbons. It is manufactured with hydrocarbons.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's shipped using hydrocarbons.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get away from it.
No. The plastic blinds on your windows, for crying out loud. That vinyl siding everybody's so proud of.
Mm-hmm.
Your computers. That handy-dandy little cell phone you got in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
It all uses hydrocarbons, folks.
Sure does.
Even the clothes on your back. But no, we don't want to drill anymore. We want to be energy efficient. Washing machines.
Well, I guess women gonna be upset about the spin cycles if they take them away. Did I?
You did not just go there.
Yes, I did.
You did not just go.
Oh my God, I so with them. That should be enough of nothing. Women should be out there. Don't touch my washing machine.
Oh my God, that's awful. That is so bad. It wouldn't be so bad, but we had a cat that used to love sitting up on the washing machine during the spin cycle, so I guess it's not just one kind of pussy that gets it.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Anyway.
Oh, moving on.
I mean, they want to take washing machines and make them energy efficient to the point where they won't clean your clothes. They use twice the water and twice the electricity because you're going to have to run that bitch twice to get your clothes clean. And they're going to charge you a buttload of money to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they will. Yeah. Speaking of this whole thing, did you hear about Pfizer is trying to acquire Segan?
Yes, I did hear that.
Now, those of you that are on the Patreon have probably read this story, but that I wrote and dropped up there from the Economic Times, and with my little bit of commentary on that, right? But here's the thing, right? Isn't it quite interesting that people's cancers went into remission over during the time of the Rona shot with the Pfizer, right? But they acquire a company that makes cancer treatment.
Oops.
I'm just saying, I'm not saying anything fishy here, but why?
But if it has gills and it swims through water and stinks when it's dead, yeah, I'd say it's pretty damn fishy.
I'm just saying, I don't want you to call a spade, maybe call it a club or a heart or something, but I just find it weird that a company that made the jab, that was one of the between them and Moderna's and all that, right? People's cancer started raging back into stage 3 and 4, not just starting over, right back to stage 3 and 4, coming back more aggressive than ever, and then they acquired the cancer treatment for it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Pfizer and all your compadres, you just got caught with your pants down.
I would agree with that.
Now, people that don't pay attention to the SEC and these mergers and these different things that are going down, like the mifepristone and all that, they won't ever connect the dots. Right? So Pfizer, big pharma, is trying to corner the market on the cancer medication now because they know they gave people cancer. Or not necessarily gave them cancer, brought people that were in remission back into full-fledged cancer. Mm-hmm. Right? Now they got to capitalize on the death side of it too. Like this is some sinister shit. Straight up sinister.
Well, I know one white gal that's not going to be getting any vaccinations anytime soon.
Mm-hmm. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Check this out.
I'm sitting here looking at this article, and I keep seeing this ad pop up. Are you drinking hydrogen water? Mm-hmm. What do you think water is made of?
Yep, that's it. Yep, right. Water's wet, right?
Oh my God! Are you drinking hydrogen water?
But you know what? But you know what? This whole thing with Pfizer and Segan, right, is the same thing with Monsanto, right?
Yeah, it is.
Think about that. It's the same thing with Monsanto.
It is.
Like.
You have both the cause and the cure at hand.
Hello.
And nobody wants to look at it that way, but they'll allow the merger. I mean, that's not even a question.
No, they're going to allow it 100% because they're all in the pockets of Big Pharma. Mm-hmm. Now Big Pharma is going to capitalize on starting death and your last days.
Yeah. Yeah. Have they gone into the coffin business yet?
I mean, shit. I bet you if I look up OpenSecrets.org, I bet you I'll find something related to a mortuary. I'm just saying. I mean, you might as well be.
Maybe they sell the formaldehyde and everything else that's used in the embalming fluids. Who knows? And it's very possible. I mean, hell, that's a profit margin if you ask me.
Oh, man. Come on now. Now I'm curious. Who has the patent to oxytocin? Now, those of you who have heard that before, right? The other common name is Pitocin, right?
Yeah.
But oxytocin is the brand, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm speaking of. Who has the rights to oxytocin?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Or Pitocin, either one. It's the same thing.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I'll be fascinated to know who has it.
Well, I'm looking that up right now.
Oh, watch this. Watch this. See, I hate doing the rabbit holes.
You know what, though? When we go into rabbit holes, it's not a bad thing.
Par Pharmaceutical?
Oxytocin is the generic name for it. It's Pitocin or
Pitocin.
Syntocinon, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So let's see.
Oh, Pitocin, my bad. I'm an idiot tonight.
Let's see what happened to Par. So back in 2013, they were fined $18 million, $4.5 million in criminal forfeiture. This is on DOJ's website. Healthcare fraud. Let's see what else we got here. Who owns Par Pharmaceuticals? Par Pharmaceutical parent company. They're from Michigan.
There's a lot of companies up in Michigan that deal with drugs. I don't know. I don't want the ad.
Par discontinued chloromorphine citrate tablets. So it looks like they're their own thing with Pitocin. So they don't have to do anything with the birth process. Okay, I'm saying Pfizer or any of those others don't have anything to do with that. Would thank God, because that would be really creepy.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is one of those things where this is, like you said, it has to do with the birth process, not necessarily with anything else.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're good on that. Mm-hmm. But anyway, yeah. So while we're here talking about certain things, and we're talking about Pfizer and all that, did you know now? You know what the new narrative behind COVID is now? You know what the new narrative is?
No.
Y'all ready for this? It's not the bat at the wet market. It is now a raccoon dog.
What? Okay, now wait a minute.
Turkeys.
I just pulled this article up. Now listen to what they say in the first line. God, this is hysterical. A new analysis of genetic material collected in Wuhan, China, suggests COVID-19 origins could be linked to raccoon dogs at Hunan seafood market. It's a wet market. They don't have raccoon dogs there. They don't have pangolins there. They don't have bats there. It's a seafood market. What the hell is wrong with these people?
Oh my God.
Did they all of a sudden grow flippers or fins or something and start swimming?
I'm done. I can't laugh.
Are you insane? Oh my God.
I can't
So
laugh
instead
now.
of going along with the scientists who are saying, yeah, we're pretty damn sure that it came from a lab, we're going to blame it on raccoon dogs 3 years later.
Oh my God. I can't
At
do
a
this.
seafood market.
I can't do this right now. I can't do this.
Oh my God.
I can't do this. How you gonna go from the bat to the raccoon dog? Like that shit don't make no
God.
sense.
It makes absolutely no sense.
Can we get a redo, please?
Oh my God.
Can we?
That's what they're asking for at this point. Can we get a redo? It's 3 years later. Shut up.
See, CNN again, right?
Oh.
As it's been dubbed a couple ways, CNN, CNN, or the real CNN, Conning Negroes Nightly. I'm just saying, if you fall for this trap, ain't no hope for you coming back. I'm sorry, a raccoon dog? Really? Really?
They've already proven there is no zoonotic crossover point for this virus. And now they're going to call it raccoon dogs.
Oh my God.
Get out of here with that bullshit.
I'm done.
My God.
I'm done, son. We're closing up the show right now. We're done. we already.
We've broken Roderick. We've broken him.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. CNN
Yeah, she
broke Roderick.
Man,
Just busted him.
look, there's more. There's more than CNN. The
I know.
Guardian is repeating it.
Yeah.
AP, Slade, they're running cover for the CCP.
Yeah, they're running cover for Fauci and the U.S. government is what they're doing.
You mean Fauci?
Fauci and Pfizer and the U.S. government, they're running cover for them.
Oh my God.
Because, how are they going to make their ad money if there's no Pfizer?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Just so y'all know, let's put this in context, right? A raccoon dog is native to China.
Yeah,
From
it is.
Japan all the way down to Vietnam. It's a real team. The little raccoon dog looks like a raccoon and a dog.
Yeah.
It's literally a dog raccoon. Woof, woof, raccoon. Like, I don't know which way it's going to do. I don't know what it's going to do. Is it going to bite me with rabies or is it going to walk up to me like a dog? But the fact, here's the fact.
It's a type of dog. It just looks like a raccoon.
They even have raccoon dogs in Ukraine. They have raccoon dogs in Ukraine.
Are they gonna charge people with big crimes for having raccoon dogs in Ukraine and potentially giving them COVID on top of a war? I mean, let's be honest here.
Oh, God.
I mean, hell, you might as well start charging that as a war crime, too. Good grief.
But here's the funny thing, right? It's a mammal. What's it doing at a wet market? What the?
Exactly. What the hell is it doing at a seafood market?
What the hell?
The same thing with bats. What the hell are they doing at a seafood market?
Look here. I can't even keep a straight face right now. We got to go pay bills in a second. I'm sitting here, y'all. If y'all can see me, I'm literally crying right now because
he's got tears rolling down his face. It's hysterical. Oh my God.
What is a mammal doing at a wet market? Wet markets for seafood, but you got some mammal just laying there with COVID. Like, what the fuck you mean?
No, this new type of fish. Use fish sauce with it. It's good.
And you get sticky rice with that.
Stir fry. You can cook Cantonese, Szechuan. It's good. Jesus Christ. Get off of it. A seafood market with raccoon dogs in it. Are you...
Oh, God.
Look, pull the other one. It's got bells on.
Look, I might have been born in the South. Born in the deep South. I mean, you can't get no deeper than North Florida. You can't get no deeper than North Florida when it comes to the South. Right? But I'm just saying, I got an education. I got my. I don't know.
You went to Vandy, so we're not gonna guarantee that.
Look. I went to TSU and I went to Vandy, right?
I gotta pick on you. You know that.
I mean, I stayed in the South when I went to school, and they say us Southern folk is dumb and crazy, but I know damn well the raccoon dogs class is a mammalia. It's a mammalia. It's a mammal. Wet markets are for wet markets for seafood, not see then eat food, not the see then eat food. Seafood, right? I'm just saying.
It's not my favorite diet place, right?
A mammal does not belong in a wet market. Y'all need to figure this out. Y'all need to figure out what lie y'all trying to really tell here to fool me because you had a bat there. Avians do not belong in a wet market.
And to be honest, bats are mammals too.
Yes, bats are mammals too. So you mean to tell me, just like Kel said, right, there is no zoological crossover with this thing, right? But you're going to throw us two mammals at a wet market. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. We got to go to break, man. I'm done with these people. Y'all know what to do. Cheese, wine, and crackers. Do the thing when we come back. We're going to talk about the scary ICC and this warrant for Vladimir Putin. Ooh, we're going to get Putin now. We're going to get him. Y'all know what to do.
Scared.
We'll be back here in 6 here on Southern Liberty.
I'm Jerry Willis, and this is the Fox Business Report. Stocks ending lower with big losses across regional banks as investors remain on edge after massive efforts to rescue First Republic and Credit Suisse. The price of Bitcoin rose as the banking crisis has driven renewed interest in cryptocurrencies. The Dow falling 385 points, the Nasdaq down 87, S&P 500 down 44. And shares of First Republic Bank plunging 33% despite receiving $30 billion in deposits from the country's largest banks. The regional bank suspended its dividend and disclosed higher borrowing costs eating into its valuation. However, shares of Microsoft rallied for their best week in nearly 8 years as investors sought safety in established tech names. Microsoft is also benefiting from its significant investment in artificial intelligence company OpenAI. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Hillary Barsky, invested in you.
Do you want to know what's trending now? You can defer payments of a full NetSuite implementation for 6 months. No payments and no interest for 6 months. This is a big deal. NetSuite by Oracle has never made an offer like this in its 22 years as the leading cloud financial system. 33,000 companies have already upgraded to NetSuite, gaining visibility and control over their financials, inventory, HR, e-commerce, and more. Everything they need to reduce manual processes, boost efficiency, build forecasts, and increase productivity across every department. In fact, almost 90% of finance leaders agree that NetSuite helps them reduce manual data entry time. Whether your business generates millions or hundreds of millions of dollars, take advantage of this special financing offer of no payments or interest for 6 months at netsuite.com/quick. That's netsuite.com/quick. netsuite.com/quick.
Warrant for Putin. I'm Rich Dennison, Fox News. The International Criminal Court today issuing an arrest warrant for Russian President Vladimir Putin, accusing the leader of war crimes.
For the mass abduction of Ukrainian children who have been taken to Russia and placed in filtration camps, the modern-day equivalent of the camps used during World War II to process Jews in Europe. It may be a long time, however, before Putin sees a Hague courtroom, but this warrant makes it difficult, if not impossible, now for him to leave Russia.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin at the Pentagon. A similar warrant was issued for Russia's Commissioner for Children's Rights. President Biden marking St. Patrick's Day, speaking at the annual Friends of Ireland luncheon on Capitol Hill.
Strength when you think about what my ancestors went through and what we're going through now, and the history that binds us and the values that unite us.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy and the Irish Prime Minister were also at today's event. Hunter Biden's legal team is suing the man who claimed to have had access to the president's son's alleged laptop, citing an invasion of privacy.
It alleges that Mac Isaac illegally took Biden's information from the laptop and made copies and distributed it to multiple people. Mac Isaac says Hunter never retrieved his computer and he's done nothing wrong. According to the lawsuit, no matter how they came into his initial possession, Mac Isaac improperly accessed files that he admits were, quote, none of his business, even though he was never given permission by Mr. Biden to access or review any of the data of Mr. Biden.
Fox's David Spunt at the Justice Department. President Biden is urging Congress to make it easier for the FDIC to impose penalties on the executives of failed banks. He says strengthening accountability is an important deterrent to prevent future mismanagement. Congress is already working on legislation after recent bank failures that have rattled financial markets. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, Prime members. Top Fox shows like Fox News Hourly Update, The Five, Fox News Rundown, and hundreds of others are available ad-free with your Prime membership. To listen, download the Amazon Music app or visit amazon.com/Fox Hourly. With Amazon Music, you get access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts. Avoid the ads and listen to your favorite shows ad-free with the Amazon Music app or by visiting amazon.com/Fox Hourly. That's amazon.com/Fox Hourly.
China's president is set to meet with his Russian counterpart next week.
Chinese President Xi Jinping will visit Russia from Monday to Wednesday, with the Russian invasion of Ukraine expected to dominate the discussions. China has tried to project itself as neutral regarding the invasion, even while refusing to condemn Russia's actions. It's an apparent show of support by President Xi for Russian President Vladimir Putin, the invitation extended by Putin during a video call with Xi in December. China's foreign affairs minister says the two leaders will talk about regional issues of concern and, quote, promote strategic cooperation, while a statement from the Kremlin says they'll sign important bilateral documents. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
A retired Air Force officer who stormed the U.S. Capitol dressed in combat gear and carried zip-tie handcuffs into the Senate gallery has been sentenced to 2 years in prison. Larry Brock also ordered to serve 2 years probation after his release. A Michigan company wants one couple's weddings to go to pot.
Potluck means food provided for an unexpected or uninvited guest, the luck of the pot. This time, potluck has a very different meaning in Detroit, a dispensary in the state's largest city giving away a $30,000 weed-themed wedding for one lucky couple, complete with a weed bar and bud tenders to help guests pick what they want. Greenhouse of Walled Lake teamed up with Choice Labs of Jackson to provide the sky-high nuptials. To enter, just write a short message message by April 30th. If you're old enough for a marriage license, you can enter the contest. No purchase necessary. CJ Papa, Fox News.
Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer serving time for the 2020 murder of George Floyd, today pleading guilty to 2 counts of tax evasion. Chauvin and his now ex-wife were charged with multiple counts of underreporting their income and failing to file tax returns. His ex-wife pleaded guilty earlier to 2 counts. I'm Rich Dennison, and this is Fox News.
Hey, Prime members. Top Fox shows like Fox News Hourly Update, The 5, Fox News Rundown, and hundreds of others are available ad-free with your Prime membership. To listen, download the Amazon Music app or visit amazon.com/Fox Hourly. With Amazon Music, you get access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts. Avoid the ads and listen to your favorite shows ad-free with the Amazon Music app or by visiting amazon.com/Fox Hourly. That's amazon.com/Fox Hourly.
Hey, welcome back, Southern Liberty. Appreciate y'all coming through as always. Giving you laughs, giving you seriousness. Cutting through the bullshit. I'm sorry. I'm still on that raccoon dog shit, Miss Kell. I'm sorry. The devil's a liar. The devil's a big ass liar. God is trying to make us believe a raccoon dog at a damn wet market. Man, come on, man. The bat didn't take hold. The snake didn't take hold. None of them other animals took hold. We're just going to believe because the raccoon dog is such an exotic animal. Bitch, they're not even on the conservation's list for extinction. Fuck out of here. These motherfuckers running, these little raccoon dogs running around here at records abandoned, humping everybody's dogs and raccoons' legs and shit. Who the fuck they playing with around here? That bullshit, man. Come on, man.
Hide your German shepherds. Hide your German shepherds.
Right? It's like that guy from Alabama, right? That guy from Alabama. Hide your wife, hide your kids, because raccoon dogs are raping everybody today. Like, come on, man. Y'all can't be serious.
For that. You were so wrong for that. Hey, oh my God.
Just like the other Alabama girl said, ain't got time for that. Nobody ain't got time for that. Y'all bullshitting. Don't bring your raccoon dog over here. But anyway, hey, if you guys are not subscribed to the radio show, make sure you do.
Oh man, you are seriously missing some stuff if you're not.
Look. Y'all make sure y'all hit that Southern Liberty, hit that subscribe. We everywhere, wherever you pick up your podcast from. You know what I'm saying? You can come through and hit that. You can also, if you want to catch us live and participate in a live chat, you can find us on the Spreaker app, SPREAKER.com. Download the Spreaker app onto your phone or tune in on your computer. Search for Southern Liberty. Boom. Make sure you save it as a favorite. Do the things. If you're in South Florida, just turn on 1290 AM, baby. 1290 AM, baby. Turn it on. If you in Southeast Georgia, you already know what to do. What your public radio station is. If you in Glenn, you in Camden, you in Ware County, you in Thomas County, you know what to do. Those motherfuckers out there in Utah, you already know how it go down. You already know. We've been through this before, but I just want to let you know. But make sure you sharing this show, right? Make sure you're sharing the show, because remember, we got three shows all up on this now, right? So y'all got to remember, we got on Sundays, we got Chasing Life, Liberty, and Monarchy. We got that going down like a champion, right? That's going to broadcast on its own feed on the Spreaker, Chasing Life, Liberty, and Monarchy. We got the Southern Liberty, the flagship, Mondays and Fridays, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, and I forgot, on Sunday is Chasing Life, Liberty, and Monarchy at 8 p.m. on Sunday. And then we have Tuesday, The Experience Today, right, with me and Miss Val. That's at 9:30, but that show will come on also the Southern Liberty channel. So make sure you got them two locked in. Yeah. And if you want to listen to previous episodes, of me and Miss Val on the Experience Today. Make sure you subscribe to the Experience Today feed, and you'll get to see all of our back episodes. And then I'm also working on, I got every last episode we've ever done. I got them all in one spot. I got them sorted. I'm going to upload them to a repository so everybody can tap in there and listen to whatever episodes they liked, et cetera, and all that good stuff. And we'll do the thing. So, again, I appreciate y'all. And if you're not on the Patreon, make sure you go to Patreon/TOLM. Again, TOLM. Patreon.com. Torture Liberty Media. If you ain't getting the content that I'm bringing over there, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe on that Patreon over there. Clicker. And all the proceeds go to keep the show going, marketing, and these are short bids, et cetera. Right, so trying to do the things, expand the market. We're trying to cover the Southeast, baby. We're trying to cover the Southeast by the end of the year. That's my goal. That's my goal. I got lofty goals. And it's all because of you guys, all of you, from Miss Kel to Miss Val to all the faithful listeners that come through. Gives me motivation to keep going doing this, because the message of liberty with a little bit of laughter, but a little bit of seriousness and a little bit of doom and gloom is kind of what's needed a little bit in these days and times, to get people to wake up before it's too late. I mean, I'm not going to say it's too late before the fat lady sing, because, we haven't done the final step. We haven't hit the final countdown yet. We're almost there, but we haven't hit the final countdown yet. But when we do hit that final countdown, right, you better be locked, loaded, and ready to go, because when that trumpet sounds, it's game over. That's it. Everybody's going to be identified on what squad they on, because they've already picked their sides. You just need to stand to the side and watch what's going on. But anyway, you ain't part of Patreon, patreon.com/TOLM. Ms. Kel, check this out.
Yes, sir.
The ICC has decided to send out an arrest warrant for Putin. What?
Yeah. They're saying that he's allegedly responsible for the war crime of unlawful deportation of population, in this case children, and that of unlawful transfer of population, children, from occupied areas of Ukraine to the Russian Federation.
Okay, first of all, wasn't Putin the one offering to bring people over to get them out of the war zone?
Yep.
So let me get this straight. It's a war crime to evacuate people that want to be part of Russia to Russia, to get them out of the midst of the fighting, so they're not a casualty, right? Is a war crime. But if he was to leave them and he bombed them, it's still a war crime. Bitch can't fucking win for losing.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
my
they
God.
also issued a warrant. They issued a warrant for the Commissioner for Children's Rights in the Office of the President of the Russian Federation as well, on similar allegations. Her name is Maria. Now, I may butcher this, but I'm going to give it a shot. Maria Alexeyevna Lvova-Belova. Okay? They have 2 arrest warrants, the ICC does, for moving children out of the way of a war. Neither one of them can leave the country at this point. And that's a bad thing for a head of state, considering that Putin was supposed to be visiting with Xi Jinping, was he not?
Yes. Oh, Xi Jinping's going to show up to the Kremlin.
Oh, yeah, he'll go over there.
Xi Jinping is going to do this flying in the face of NATO, a.k.a. the United States. He's going to do his thing. Yeah, like, what you going to do? You going to shoot down Xi Jinping the same way that Russia did a flyby, a Maverick flyby on a drone? You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, look, Xi right now is looking over at the United States and saying, "Go ahead, make my day. We'll see more raccoon dogs."
Hey, remember, raccoon dogs are also native to Ukraine, too. They're in Ukraine.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Speaking of Ukraine,
we'll send more raccoon dogs that may have COVID.
Look, I'm going to say something very, very fucked up, but I need to say what I need to say.
what it is.
Those of you people running around here praising that Ukrainian soldier that got executed on video, and y'all say he's my hero. I hope you keep that. I hope y'all keep that same energy when the man comes to your front door with guns ablazing, telling you to give it the fuck up. I hope you go down just as easy. And I'm saying it with all the spite in my voice, because here's the thing. You have a group of people that have been manipulated into fighting for what is democracy while they're fighting for a Nazi fucking regime. Yeah. Okay. And we don't even know if those are Russians that shot him, because we don't have the other side of the picture.
Exactly.
Because it has been shown, and those of you that were in my Telegram group know I have videos of all of that shit. I still have the videos on this computer right here of Ukrainians posing as Russian soldiers shooting civilians. Don't play with me. Don't play with me.
I have to look at this as well. Zelensky right now is busy closing down churches in Ukraine. They are turning out the nuns and the priests, forcing them into the streets, and they are closing down churches. What kind of democracy is it that closes churches and forbids people from discussing religion or even attending religious services?
Look. You went there. We might as well stay right on there for a minute, right? The same type of crime is happening under the color of law in France.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
If y'all ain't paid attention what Macron just did, right?
Yeah.
Macron invoked in there, which is a stupid provision having the Constitution anyway, but they wanted to guarantee absolute power. If it wasn't a king anymore, it was going to be a head of state, right? But Emmanuel
DPMG office.
Emmanuel Macron invoked Article 49.3 of the said French Constitution, which allows the president to unilaterally, y'all listen to me closely here, to allow him to unilaterally pass any law he wants outside of the legislature
without a single vote.
Y'all hear this, right? And remember, Adolf Hitler was democratically elected too.
Oh, but Macron is so harmless. He's such a nice guy. He's a French gentleman. Bullshit.
I'm sorry. But here's the thing, right? Let's keep this wood roll. Let's keep this 100,000, right? All of these European countries, and we can almost say with minus Italy,
so far
are already creeping, are already fascist, creeping over to totalitarianism, or they are already there.
Yeah.
Right, and this is the European trend. This is Europe. Europe has always been totalitarian light at times. Right, one of the reasons Hannibal invaded Europe was because of the way the people were treated in Europe. Yeah. That was one of the reasons Hannibal invaded. He was like, "No, we ain't doing this."
Yeah. But I have to say this though.
Yeah.
When the European Union came into being, when they developed this and started pulling in all of these countries, you and I know that's when it all really got this ball rolling.
Yep. And then the United States sprinkled their NATO in it, and then used the UN as a political entity, right? And I've taken y'all down through here before on this, right? But we think they have the European Union. The European Union does not have a military force.
Nope.
NATO is a military force, and they use the UN, the political arm of everything, to dictate what the European Union really does. Why do you think such still the cover-up of the Nord Stream pipeline? The EU is covering it up. And this is why I love Miss Claire Daly. She's
Yes.
the MEP from Ireland. Let me tell you something. This woman.
She pulls absolutely no punches and gives zero shits.
And you know, when you find gold, right, you keep it in your pocket. I mean, look, Claire Daly is a socialist through and through. But
yes, she is.
She will sit there at that dais and call a spade a fucking spade. I mean, she's done everything without saying the United States is behind the whole goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Right. She even said, today in a short 1.5 minute speech, talking about how the ICC is going after Putin when we have a grain shortage.
Yeah.
We have a grain shortage that Putin technically can control because of what's going on, but you want to try to throw an arrest warrant at Putin. So you would rather have starving people, right? Yeah. You'd rather have starving people than to leave Putin alone until everything is said and done and sit down at the table and talk peace. I'm like, Claire, there you go. That's it.
Exactly. Well, and she's seeing the same thing that I am. All he has to do is close down the Black Sea shipping lanes.
Yep. That's it. Game over.
That's the only thing he has to do, and it will be game over. And you figure how much of the world's grain supply will rot in the docks?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, he already gave him 60-day extension on that? Yeah. 60 days?
60 days.
So now they lay down this indictment, this whatever you want to call it, right? Now that he's laid this out there so they can replace him with somebody else that's more convenient for them, right? Now, let's talk about this ICC thing a second, though, right? Because we can't deviate from that a second, right? Now, those of you that have never heard of the freaking ICC, they are the International
Crimes
Court,
Commission,
right? They're a court, basically, right?
Yeah.
That prosecutes quote unquote war crimes, right? Now, here's what's funny. Let's go through a little bit of history here, right? The Rome Statute that was established in 1998 via the UN, right? To prosecute these particular war crimes, right? That was happening. Now, the only people, right? Here's what's strategically crazy about this, right? This court was established with member nations joining on. I think there's like 42 member nations. No, 42 nations that didn't sign on to the Rome Statute, right?
Okay.
Everybody they have taken through the International Crime Commission has been leaders from Slavic or Eastern European countries. Every last one of them. Slobodan Milosevic, let's start there.
And I have to say, you were correct. It is International Criminal Court.
Yeah. Either way, it means the same thing. But really think about it. This court was established, right, to persecute Eastern European countries. That's it. Because they have not brought anybody else from the West into any of these courts. And Putin is now their big fish. Putin is their, even though Putin's part of Northern Asia, Putin's still their big fish.
Well, and it's not just that, but you look at it, the International Criminal Court started right about the time that the Soviet Union was still a huge power, didn't they?
No, it was after. Well, it was after the fact.
Or was it after the
this
fall?
was 98. This was 98.
98. Okay,
when
so
that
it was
court
after
was
the
finally
fall
formed.
of the Soviet Union. Okay.
Yep, that is correct. Yep, that is correct. And after that, they formed this court in the UN. Now keep in mind, right? Y'all listen to this very closely. Okay, what year was the Kosovo War? What year did it start?
Oh, that I don't know. I keep thinking it was 98, but I'm not positive.
98. 98.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, 98. 98 to 99. Yeah. The Rome Statute was signed in 98 to form this international court. And everybody they've brought into the table, you can look it up. It's on their website, icc.int. all the cases they've ever prosecuted are Eastern European people. None of the heads of states or generals from countries, right? From countries that are romanticized by Atlanticism. Mm-hmm. Right? We don't see any French, any Belgium, any German, any, you know what I'm saying? Spanish, Portuguese, right? But they will, if you're from a Slavic country, they're going to run you all up and down through there because they think you're committing war crimes. Yeah, because
I have to ask: are they going to look at Zelensky in the same way for all the money laundering he's doing?
Hello,
and arms trafficking.
Look, no, not even that. He is literally harboring Nazis to fight Russians. Yes. We can't get past that point. He is literally playing Hitler reincarnated and killing people that want to sympathize with Russia, deprive people of their basic human rights, but you want to bring Putin to the stand. Now, if this court was anything legitimate, Baby Bush should be in front of that court right now for Afghanistan. Right? Yeah. Let's don't pull no punches with this bullshit. We're going to call a spade and equally apply the principle. We need to run through the whole thing. Hillary Clinton needs to be there for Libya.
Yes.
Let's don't play with this. But no, if you're a country that is romanticized by Atlanticism, you get a free pass. And that's mainly your countries that are in NATO.
I have to wonder how much longer NATO is actually going to stand, particularly with the amount of asininity that's going on in our own government. Mm-hmm. And once NATO falls, what happens with the ICC and with the UN?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you can't just persecute and prosecute one particular group of people while hiding the crimes of the ones who are paying your salary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because that's what it looks like to me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. That's exactly what it looks like. But I'm just saying, if you want me to think this court is quote unquote legitimate, which international law is not legitimate anyway, because we're not part of a world government.
Yeah, exactly.
They're playing pretend with us right now until they can full-fledged put the thing completely in motion. And be like, we might as well do this because of this. We're all united under this now. We got to fight this, but you ain't fighting Nazism.
We don't have a world government yet, guys.
Look, we ain't fighting no Nazism, right? because look, we allow Nazism to run around in the United States.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I mean, yeah, we have the neo-Nazis, but let's talk about Antifa. They're the same people.
Uh-huh.
Yes, they are the same exact people. Y'all can't tell me for nothing that they ain't the same people. Same tactics, same bullshit, same anti-black rhetoric that they both spew. Mm-hmm. The only difference is the neo-Nazis are wide open with it, with the Sieg Heil in the air, and the Antifa people will use black people as a political pawn to push their agenda and push them to get them into trouble and say, we'll bail you out, but leave them in jail as they continue with their agenda. Like, don't play with me. It's all Nazi shit. And the government sponsors one group and it monitors the other because we don't like those Nazis. We like our Nazis. It's kind of like the same thing as people saying, well, you know, both Trump and Biden are racist, but I like Biden's racism better. The fuck? The fuck you mean? Like,
look, after listening to that moron speech today, it just
I'm sitting here trying to figure this out. If you're saying they both are racist, but you're going to get one racist in office and put your racist in the office. Like, what the fuck is this shit? Why'd you even vote in the first place? Because you're going to, if that's how you feel, you're getting the same racism. Biden's racism is racism light compared to Trump.
No, it ain't.
Right? This is what I'm saying.
It ain't.
But this is what these people. This is what how these people think, right? That's not our racist. No, right? We don't like Trump racist.
We want a racist of our own.
Yeah, we want our racist to be in there. Never mind the fact that he's an old white man. He's an old white man. We don't want old white men, but I guess he's the better racist of the others that's vying for the damn candidacy, right? So we just got to put that racist in because we don't like the Trump racist.
We want the even older bigot that we know, right?
Right. Yeah. How you say? At least we know Joe's bigotry over the past 50 years. We've seen it on display. We can tolerate the racism light, but Trump's racism, it hit us blindside. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't handle all that racism at once. Joe Biden's been feeding y'all for 50 years with that racism bullshit. Come on, bro.
I have to look at it, and I keep thinking, what racism from Trump?
It's not even that. It's not even that.
Sexism, yeah, I could see that because he's always adored women and he never makes any bones about it. But
I'm not even on with that part. It's the fact of the matter that people put these two people in the racist box, but then vote for their racist instead of keeping the racist that's in there. Right? That's actually fixing shit. Like, this shit baffles me. And then this racist turns around and sends your Social Security money to another country. Just off GP, right? And you're still quiet.
Pay their pensions.
Right, to pay their pensions while quote unquote your reparations ain't paid. Like, make that shit make sense, motherfucker. Like, I'm sorry, I'm on one, but for real.
I noticed.
Right? For real. Like, again, let's recap this again for the people in the back that are slow. You can't sit here and say Trump is a racist and Biden's a racist, but we rather have our racist in office that sends your money, right? Actually, this even back that up. That tells you that if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. To send your money to another country to pay their Social Security pensions for free off of your dime, and you still over here begging for reparations. Man, come on now. Come on through. Did I get that right?
Yeah, that sounds about right to me.
Okay.
And well, you did kind of forget the old white dude thing.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
So we're going to vote in an even older white dude.
No, after the fact that these people didn't want old white men in office anymore because they are the epitome of white supremacy. That shit's fucking rich.
Well, that's what Robert Byrd said too.
As I sip on my coffee like Kermit the Frog.
Right. You got your pinky up and everything.
I got both pinkies up.
You got both pinkies up.
I got the one I'm holding the cup and the other one on the other hand up at the same time. You know what I'm saying? I'm just. I'm not sure that's your pinky. I think that's your middle finger. Hey, look, I'm just trying to call a spade, and this is the logic of the people that they're thinking. It's kind of like when Kingface said, "Bless his heart, bless his soul." He said, if that's racist," he was talking about Trump. If that's racist, I want more of that racism. I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Right?
Look,
and I'm going to go very deep Southern here. And I'm going to bring back up this whole debacle today with the Irish Prime Minister and everything.
Oh no! Oh
yeah!
No, don't do this.
Look, and I really hate. I am ashamed to admit this, that Biden is a very distant cousin of mine. He is a Finnegan scion. My grandfather was a Finnegan. Yeah, Biden is a distant cousin. And it makes me ashamed because he's the first Finnegan I've ever met who is Puerto Rican, Jewish, black.
No, don't do this. Don't take us
Polish.
through here. Don't take us through here. Don't do this.
Went to school at a shul.
Oh, no.
And, he spent more time in shul than he did in school. And, you know, the black churches know him well.
Oh,
they know him very well because he attended their services on Sundays.
Oh my God. You didn't know.
I have a very large problem with it. He has, you know, for someone who is that proud of his Irish heritage, he seems a little confused.
Oh, jeez. At least he didn't pull out the true black Irish from the Iberian Peninsula. At least he didn't pull that card.
I don't think he knows about it.
Oh my God, no.
He's too busy being Puerto Rican and Polish and Jewish and black and raised in Scranton, even though he was raised in Delaware and Rhode Island and wherever the hell else he was raised.
We're going to hell. We're going straight to hell.
Oh, honey, I've got the blueprints on my desk here somewhere. I'll make sure you got a really nice room.
Jesus, take me up now, Lord. Take me up to the sunny side.
Back, Satan.
Yeah. I'm sitting back in my rocking chair like, oh, my Lord. Lord, Lord, Lord. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. Get me up here, Lord.
Get me up out this place.
Oh my God!
But yeah, it drives me nuts. I mean, it's like, come on, you cannot have someone like this as the president of the United States and take the country seriously. There is no way on earth anybody in politics right now.
I think they need to find his silhouette.
Seriously.
They need to find his silhouette. One last thing though before we open up them phone lines though. How about they trying to cancel Rosa Parks? They trying to cancel Rosa Parks down here in Florida. Man,
I saw that.
Look here. They sitting here, a Florida textbook. Here's how it went, right? The Florida textbook, right? I'm just going to read the article. I'm going to let y'all hear it for yourselves, right? Okay. A Florida textbook publisher removed all references of race from a lesson about civil rights icon Rosa Parks in order to get a Florida committee's approval, according to the New York Times. Now, we know about the story of Rosa Parks. They go into that. But they said in the current lesson by Studies Weekly, which is used in 45,000 elementary schools, the event is described. The law said African Americans had to give up their seats on the bus if a white person wanted to sit down, which in itself is incorrect, right? They didn't. No, that's not necessarily true. There's more to it. Anyway, continue with the article. But in an early version created for Florida's review by Studies Weekly, the lesson changed to she was told to move to a different seat because of the color of her skin. The group's second updated version, race, is removed completely from the lesson. She was told to move to a different seat. Studies Weekly also made changes to their fourth grade lesson about segregation laws. In the initial version, the text explained how black Americans were affected by Jim Crow laws that arose after the Civil War. I'm sorry, Jim Crow laws did not rise after the Civil War. Jim Crow laws did not go into effect until after Plessy versus Ferguson in 1898. Don't let these people see. This is why these journalists do not need to teach history or talk about history. They need to leave that shit alone. But anyway, I digress. That arose after the Civil War, but like its updates to the Parks lesson, the second version eliminated almost every direct mention of race. Instead, the lessons were changed to say it was illegal for men of certain groups to be unemployed and that certain groups of people were not allowed to serve on a jury. What they just described right there, which is historically correct, is the black code, not a Jim Crow law. That's not Jim Crow. Those are the black codes.
Yep.
I digress. Florida is currently reviewing social studies curriculum, which includes flagging any topics that could be deemed as critical race theory, a collegiate level framework used to explain systemic racism in the United States that has become a political catch-all buzzword for any teaching on race.
Bullshit.
See, look. See how they try to slide that in there? Like, they got a river. It's called Civil Framework. I'm sorry. What is it? DEI?
DEI, yeah.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
inclusivity. I can't say it.
Inclusivity. Now, look. The Florida Department of Education mandates the teaching of black history. Critical race theory is banned in Florida public schools, though most experts on the subject say it is not taught in elementary or even high schools. Again, what is that favorite acronym? Instead of CRT, DEI? I digress. The theory has become a major point of contention for Republicans, including Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who signed legislation last year that prohibits the instruction that could make students feel responsibility, guilt, or anguish for what other members of their race did in the past. DeSantis' administration has taken this law and used it to reject more than 40 math textbooks for allegedly incorporating prohibited topics or unsolicited strategies, including critical race theory. This year, his administration banned an advanced placement African American studies course from running in schools, accusing the College Board of indoctrination of education. And those of you in Florida knows what this is about. We've talked about this. We've read it, right? It's the fact they put queer theory in an African American studies book. That is why the book caught hell. Don't let nobody else tell you any different. They put queer theory has nothing to do with quote unquote black history, quote unquote African American history, or so-called black history or Negro history. And it got nothing to do with any of that. They stuck queer theory in there like black folks or whatever you want to call them today, right? Are queer. What? Fuck out of here. But anyway, I digress. I continue with the article. Meanwhile, Republicans in the state this month introduced legislation to ban Florida colleges and universities from running programs that promote diversity, equity, and inclusion in colleges and universities. No, it didn't. But anyway, people need, again, as Bakari Sellers would say, this is what happens when people don't read. Still, yes, the Florida Department of Education suggests that Studies Weekly had overreached in its efforts to follow Florida law, saying that any publisher that avoids the topic of race when teaching the civil rights movement, slavery, or segregation would not be adhering to Florida law. This is what the DOE is saying. Yeah. And they're exactly right. They're taking it out to say, oh, we got to come. No, that's not what the compliance is. But people, again, they don't read the law or understand what the law means.
No. The only thing that I can think of at that point is not that they're trying to comply with their law. What they're doing is they're saying, okay, they don't want us talking about CRT, so we're not going to talk about race at all.
Right.
This looks like it's petty. It looks like it's a petty form of revenge, and it's going to end up leaving these students without a basis in history.
Right. Right. Right.
I mean, because why would they have the black codes if there's no race? Why would they have the Jim Crow laws if there's no race?
Correct. Correct.
How are they going to teach that?
That's correct.
How are they going to teach about lynchings and about voting rights if there's no race and there's no sex?
Right. That's correct.
You know, and it really torques me off because, you know, the reason that DeSantis had that information pulled wasn't just because of CRT. The African American studies, the advanced placement program for that, there was a lot of 1619 project in that.
Yeah.
And it's already been proven false.
Yep. Exactly.
Why would you have false information in a course for advanced placement for students who are obviously smart and tell them lies?
Yeah. Yeah. That.
Yeah.
Bold-faced lies. It is what it is, though.
I guess. I mean, it's one of those things where it just drives me insane, and I think that this is the teachers' union's way and the educators' way of getting back at DeSantis and those of the Floridians who support him by saying, well, if we can't teach it, we're not going to teach it at all. Because that's exactly what it looks like to me. If we can't do it the way we want, we're not going to do it at all.
Yeah, it sounds really extra petty. It's really, really extra petty. Let's go ahead and what we're going to attempt to do here is we're gonna do a thing called opening the phone lines. 563 999 1708 563 999 1708. Give us a ring a ding ding and tell us what's on your mind. You got a question to ask? Come on through. You got a little bit of commentary. You already know how it goes down. And after we're done with the calls, we're gonna slide into this cool weekend. And we're going to enjoy life. You know, the phone number is 563 999 1708. Call in with your heat, with your fire, and whatever else you got going on up underneath your sleeve. I want to hear from you.
Yeah. I'm looking further into this article. And it says that the group objected to fifth grade textbook mentioning slavery 189 times, and that an 8th grade book gave too much attention to the negative side of the treatment of Native Americans without detailing instances of their own violence, such as the Jamestown Massacre of 1622, when Powhatan warriors killed more than 300 English colonists. Hold up right there. There is no proof that those colonists were killed by natives.
Right, that's correct. It's
like Roanoke. The colonists of Roanoke, where did they go? Everybody keeps saying, oh, well, they were killed by the natives. No, there's no evidence of that.
Mm-hmm. Correct. I'm still stuck on the raccoon dog.
I know, right? In a seafood market.
I'm done. We got a caller 270, Mr. Rico. Come on through like Kung Fu, baby. What's good with you?
I just want to know what is CRT and what is it trying to teach?
CRT is critical race theory. It started out as a legal theory outlining systemic racism in government, and it started out as a college legal theory, okay? And it was only used by legal students, okay? It has since been kind of subsumed under the DEI programming, which is going on right now, diversity,
equity
and inclusivity, all right? And if your local school has a DEI office, they are teaching this particular program. And it's the same thing as CRT, it's just nobody wants to admit it. It became something that went down into the grade schools, into high school, middle, and elementary schools, from where it began in the universities. And it transformed itself, no thanks to liberal teachers and things like that, and liberal professors.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to me, from what I've seen of it, what I've heard of it, it really seems like that critical race theory is basically a theory that's being pushed upon all people, and it's really to make the white man look bad and make him feel bad.
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, why in the hell would you want to do that to anybody? Black society, Hispanic society, Asian society, white society, it doesn't matter. Why do you want to make people feel bad about something that happened in the past, even though white society has changed, ever since, we started in the 60s, maybe even earlier than that. It kept getting better and better and better. Then all of a sudden we hit 2016, and all of a sudden we're back in the 50s again.
Rico, the way I see it is that it's not necessarily about treating white people bad. It's about making No, wait a minute. Let me finish. It's about making minority populations into victims. Victims are easier to control.
Yeah.
That brings up another thing. Why would you want people to have control over you when you're in a society that's filled with engineers and builders and things like that? If you've got control over the people and the people are wanting that control, what the hell is the motivation to improve life for other people, whether it's in building stuff, infrastructures, services, anything, health, healthcare, all that stuff. If you are being controlled, what's the motivation? I thought the more money that you make for the things you know and things you do to help society is far more motivating than being told to do it.
According to these kids now, Rico, they want equal opportunity and equal outcome.
Yeah.
This is what they want. This is equity. They want equity. They don't want equality. They want equity.
So if you're making $25 on the job as a construction worker or an engineer, they expect the same damn money for flipping burgers at Burger King.
Exactly. They right.
How many Americans do you know that are actually going to get their PhDs now?
Not
barely.
These kids are stupid. These kids are stupid.
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
They're willfully ignorant and they expect things to be done for them. Do you really expect, in the way society is treating these kids, that we could actually use them in a World War III scenario and be effective?
No, absolutely not. Look, we can't even recruit enough kids now.
Nope.
There's not a single branch that has met its recruitment goals over the last 3 years. Minimum 3 years.
All of that following, your father's and mother's footsteps and stuff like that is out the window. I want to be a Marine like my dad. Hey, no. They don't want to be a Marine like. They screwed that over. They screwed history over. History of being in, the militaries. They screwed it over. I'm telling you, it is bad.
And they still are. They still are.
Yep.
And they want to say, you want to go to Civil War with young people? These young people, fuck yeah, we'll waste them.
Most of them, yeah.
Not all. Yeah, most of them, not all of them. They think it's going to be like a hand-to-hand combat ship. Even that, you'd still win.
Look, what are they going to do? A Naruto run?
No. You just kick them in their ankle. Oh my God, my pussy hurt. Come on now.
Listen, Rod. I usually say something pithy, but I think that's it for me for the night. I'm going to let you guys go, listen to you on the old Morants, and we'll talk to you next week. You guys have a great weekend, and stay off social media. Thank you.
Have a great night.
I appreciate you, Mr. Rico. That's Rico. Y'all give Rico a hand. Yay, Rico a hand.
Yay!
Look. Oh, you want to hear something interesting? Now that I'm here, and if people, I got to post the information on Patreon. You guys know I've talked about the OMB standards on race from 1997 and how they construct race in this country through the OMB.
Okay.
Right? And that if y'all have read the census, if you go to census.gov and you search about the topic of race, they're actually, check this out, they're having their last and final town hall about this, right? The OMB and the Federal Interagency Technical Working Group on Race and Ethnic Standards is holding a town hall on race and ethnicity statistical standards on the 18th at 2 p.m. Eastern on standards for maintaining, collecting, and presenting federal data on race and ethnicity. Yeah, that's what they're doing. Yeah, you can watch it on the Census Bureau's website, the Census Bureau's YouTube channel, or you can actually go to it's spd15revision.gov. You can go there and see what they're trying to change the quote unquote races to, because that's what they're doing. They're trying to change again the concept of race, because we've already talked about that race is a government created concept, right? I wonder if the bot will send that. We'll send that through out. I'm gonna put it in the botter.
Okay.
Here and see if people can see that. I hope they can. But yeah, just click the link. This is something they're trying to reconstruct basically what race is, and
okay, it just showed up.
It showed up. Okay, so yeah, you can work through that. You guys can, if you wanna chime in on that. I think they've had almost 7,000 public comments on this since March, on the Federal Register about the whole thing. So,
and the 18th is tomorrow, guys.
Yep, 18th is tomorrow. So if you're not doing anything tomorrow afternoon, etc., just kick it on, leave it on your phone while you're cleaning, whatever, and see what they're, what they're trying to do with this whole thing, right? Because one of the initial proposals, it includes collecting race and ethnicity information using one combined question, adding, and here's what they're doing: they're adding MENA. Y'all have heard me talk about MENA before, Middle Eastern North Africa, as a new response category. Now, now, let's put this in perspective. Let me get my documentation up here real quick. Yeah, we got a few minutes left.
Oh yeah,
we got a few minutes left, right? Let's see. Sorry, I wasn't prepared for this one, but
no, but this is fascinating because I didn't realize that they were trying to change it.
Yep, they're trying to change it, they're trying to add things. So if you guys go, and you can, if you're by a computer or whatever, y'all can kind of go along with us here, right? If you just Google about the topic of race and census, you can bring up how the government determines race. Remember, race is a government construct. Black, white, all that is a government construct that they've bent us into, right? So if we look at the definition for white, okay, what our government says is white is a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa, right? In the initial proposal, they're going to add a new response category, MENA. Right? If you go back, I just read you what MENA was, right in order. Yeah. Middle Eastern North Africa. So what you're doing is taking the or out and making it its own category. So now white is only going to be persons having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe. That's it. And
that's a problem.
That definition itself is a problem.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you look at it and you're Persian, you are a Caucasian. You're white.
And that's not true. You're Persian.
Oh, no. I'm talking Iranian. In other words, if...
Yeah, you're Persian. You're not white.
White.
No, they're Persian. They're Persian.
No, as far as the census goes.
Oh, the census, yes. That's correct.
Yes.
They would be considered white.
They are considered white.
But you would also consider Pakistanis as white too. So if Afghanis,
for the same reason.
This is the thing. So now with the proposal, they're adding their response Middle Eastern or North African, right? Now the other thing they're doing is requiring the collection of detailed race and ethnicity categories by default, right? Mm-hmm. So the working group has also asked for public comment to revise what is the standard that I've been reading to you on you guys here, right? As far as terminology, definitions, and question wording is concerned, the guidance on implementation and adaptation of revised standards, and the guidance on how to collect and report administrative and proxy data. Okay, so now with that being said, let's go back, because this is the point of contention that I would love for people to understand, and I encourage everyone to go look this up. Just Google about the topic of race census. That's all you need to put in the search bar, and you'll see the census.gov, and then you'll see that. You'll go down in there and go look at it. I wonder if the bot will actually do it. Did the bot? You said the bot worked last time?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, great. Okay, so
it put it in there.
Okay, good. So that should put this in here too. Then that should pop up. Let me know if
yes,
you guys
it just
see it.
did.
Okay, very good. Okay, so with that, so this is what I'm looking at, guys. Right. So when we look at what the United States government calls Black or African American, it's a person having origins in any of the Black racial groups of Africa. I want you guys to remember this. Remember this definition for a reason. I want you to remember it for a reason. Right? What they classify as American Indian or Alaska Native, a person having origins in any of the original peoples of North and South America, including Central America, and who maintains tribal affiliation or community attachment. Asian, a person having origins in any of the original peoples of the Far East, Southeast Asia, or the Indian subcontinent, including, for example, Cambodia, China, India, Japan, Korea, Malaysia, Pakistan, the Philippine Islands, Thailand, and Vietnam. Now,
excuse me.
Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander, a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Hawaii, Guam, Samoa, or other Pacific islands. Now, I'm going to hold that right there. Now, I want to go back. I want to read another definition, right? Y'all check this out. Black or African American, a person having origins in any of the Black racial groups of Africa. You see what they did, right?
Yeah.
Y'all heard what our government just did, right? If y'all didn't pick up on it, let me put you on. All the other classifications: Native Hawaiian or Pacific Islander, Asian, Native, Alaska Native or American Indian, and white, right? All started off with a person having origins in any of the original peoples of North and South America or whatever. But Black says a person having origins in any of the Black racial groups of Africa. See what they did?
Oh.
You see what they did? You catch it? You catch it, Miss Gill?
No,
Okay, so we'll go back. Read white. A person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe. Okay? Black.
Okay.
A person having origins in any of the Black racial groups of Africa.
Oh, holy crap.
Now you see what they did, right?
It's just a language change, but my God, does it change things drastically?
Oh, it does, because it changes legality. It changes legality, right? Now, the question now is, here's the question we should be asking. What is race?
Yeah.
Right? What
are people and what is race?
Right. What is race? Watch this. According to Black's Law Dictionary, race is a tribe, people, or nation belonging or supposed to belong to the same stock or lineage. This is Black's Law Dictionary, people. Mm-hmm. All right. Listen to the definition of race. A tribe or people or nation belonging or supposed to belong to the same stock or lineage. I want to key in on the word stock a second, right? Because, right, quote unquote, black people were stock during the slave trade.
Okay,
right?
but no, that's not okay. But I don't think that's what they were saying because I am of European stock.
Well, wait, hold on. Watch this. Watch this. This is law. This is law, right? Black's Law Dictionary defines stock, the inventory carried by retail, business for sale in the ordinary course of business. That's in the 8th edition, according to the U.S. courts. So when you're calling yourself stock, you're calling yourself a commodity.
Okay.
Right?
But being Irish, we were.
Yes, you were, right, by default. So right? So we're going to leave that part on. So we know what race is. We know what stock is, right?
Yeah.
Now, let's go back and read what they wrote. A person having origins in any of the black racial groups of Africa. There's no other groups listed that are a racial group. Think about that a second.
Okay, and I find that fascinating considering that you have the Iberian Peninsula. Mm-hmm. You have just about the entire northwest portion of Africa that is not necessarily black.
Right. That's correct. Now watch this. Now I'm going to take y'all down through here on the history part of this. Well, on the etymology. This is how they've caught us slipping. Right? So, the word black, okay, we're going to go on the etymology lesson here. The word black comes from Proto-Indo-European origins, okay, through the word black, B-L-A-C, which meant pale, wan, colorless, or albino. Black, B-L-A-C, was incorporated into Old French as blanc. Italian and Spanish as blanco, blanca, bianca, bianco, and bianchi, right? In Old English, black, B-L-A-C, person meant fair, someone devoid of color, similar to the word blanc, which still means white or fair person. In Middle English, the word was spelled Blake, B-L-A-E-C, same thing as the modern word black, only at that time around 1050 AD, it meant fair skin or so-called white person. Yeah. The word blacka, an Old and Middle English word, still resonates with blanki, the Dutch Germanic term for white people of today. But it wasn't until the 16th century that the semantic broadening of black occurred, both figuratively and connotatively, as well as literal. So from black to Blake to bleaken to blacken, and their literal meanings to bleach out or make white, blonde or pale came the figurative meaning to stain someone's reputation or defame or darken, literally black, B-L-A-C, by the time came to mean night, light color, or dark. You see what they just did, right?
Yeah, they changed the entire history of it.
And right. And then now that you know that, black racial group, you hear this word.
Yeah,
right?
I hear it.
Now, if you can go into the law dictionaries and see how this applies. Right, this is why,
and I'm thinking about it. And yes, I'm going to crack a joke here. I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking bleak. Okay, so that's where they get bleach demon from.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep. That's exactly where they get bleach steaming from. Yep. People don't realize
I need a tan, y'all. I need a tan.
Because people don't go through the etymology of words and understand how they've transitioned and how they've applied to law. Right? So
and see, and you know me. I have unabridged dictionaries sitting right behind me on my shelves. I collect them boogers and I read them.
Yeah, because unabridged dictionaries are going to tell you the complete truth all the way through.
Exactly. However, I have never applied that etymology to racial descriptions.
Mm-hmm. And that's what the color of law does. So if we go back and we look at, again, right, white, a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, American Indian, or Alaska Native, a person having origins in any of the original peoples of North and South America. I want to stop there a second, right? And Central America. I want to stop there a second, right? Because they got people identifying as Hispanic, non-white on the little bubble sheet. They should be identifying as American Indian. Are they not part of the indigenous people of North and South America, Aztecs, Incas, and Mayans? I'm just saying, right? So now they got them denying where they're from, their origins. See what I'm saying? The federal government is not slick when they're doing these things.
What they're doing is they're identifying them by their lingual group, not their racial group.
Or their nationality.
Not their origin. In other words, their nationality of origin.
Right.
Origin of nationality.
Correct.
They have them identifying by language. It would be the same as if they were from Spain.
Right.
Oh, you're Hispanic. No.
You're Spanish. You're Spanish.
There's a difference.
Yep, that's correct.
But aren't you Latin? No. You speak Spanish. There's a difference.
Yep. Huge difference. Huge difference. And this is how they get people to deny their nationality. Yeah. This is how they get this. They take, because these definitions do not have a legal status.
No, they don't.
They have you denying your nationality, because most people, right? If you ask them, hey, where are you from? Where your people's from? Right? 9 times out of 10, they're not going to tell you America. They're going to say, oh, we're Italian, we're Irish, we're German, right? They're going to identify the American second.
Yeah.
Right? That's always secondary. They will always identify as American second, but they will identify their lineage first.
And see, people like me, I identify myself as an American first. And then of Irish heritage or whatever, okay? Because it's like the fact that my ancestors were born and raised in Ireland and came over here has absolutely nothing to do with my current life.
No, but it's still your lineage, it's your bloodline. And
it's my bloodline, but it has absolutely nothing to do with my life right now.
No, it doesn't, but guess what? American doesn't have a legal status either.
No, it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
I could legally say North Carolinian. That's where I was born.
That's correct.
I could say South Carolinian. That's where I reside.
That's correct. That's the point, right? That's the point. American is not a legal status, because abroad, right?
Yeah.
If you call yourself an American in a legal capacity, countries are going to laugh at you. No, you are a United States national.
I am a United States national, a United States citizen.
Right.
A native of North Carolina.
Right. Or a citizen of North Carolina.
No, a citizen of South Carolina. A native of
South
North Carolina.
Right. A citizen of South Carolina. Right. But this is how they get people to deny these things, right? Because here's the thing, right? And this even goes, and I try to explain this in the reparations argument, right? Mm-hmm. With quote unquote black people that are part of a racial group, which is a stock. I can pull up the court cases that
and with this whole thing in California, they are treating themselves like stock. Pay me $5 million for slavery reparations when there were no slaves in California.
Hello, now you're catching it. Right? So when we're looking at this, when I talk about the reparations argument, right? And I always say, right, if we're going to look at reparations, look at all the ethnic groups that got reparations from the United States, right? Germans, French, Italians, Japanese got reparations from the United States government.
Yep.
Now, what do all three of those have in common? Or four of those have in common? They all have a... Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say they were all basically prisoners of war.
Well, on the broader scale, yes. On the broader scale, they're all a nationality, and they have a seal of commerce that backs them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You cannot pay reparations to a legal label. Show me where Blackistan is.
Right.
Blackoslavia. Right? This is what I'm saying, right? If these people run around here trying to chase reparations, you can't chase reparations without being legal. Black is not a legal status. They tell you you're a racial group.
Yeah.
With your ethnic stock.
Yeah.
You have no legality. Because you're not, and just like when people say I'm European American, you can't identify with a continent.
Yeah, exactly.
You're from a country or an ethnic group in Europe. What are you, Slav? You know what I'm saying?
Actually, you can. The only one that I can think of that would be Australians.
No, they're still Australian. Well, okay, yeah, I see your point, but they'd be English. They'd be English.
No.
They're all English prisoners. They're all descendants of English prisoners, except for the Aborigines.
I was going to say, you have the Aboriginal peoples. They are Australians.
Right, that is correct.
They're the only ones who can actually identify with a continent.
Right, that is correct. That is correct. Yes, and that because the country is the continent. That is correct.
Yes.
But Europe is not a country, so you can identify with Europe, right? Because there's too many ethnic groups, like the Slavs, like the French, and you got the Tatars and the Cossacks and all these different ethnic groups that are in Europe. So you can't say you belong, right? If your folks came over on the Mayflower, you're Albions. Right? I mean, that's your ethnic group.
Yeah.
Right? But you can identify with a continent. But they have people for like these things like this here that I just read to y'all right on the government website. They're telling you what they're doing. They're telling you what they're doing. They're getting you to deny your lineage.
Now, I have a question for you, and you specifically. Because I live in this part of the coast, as do you. Well, you're actually a little south of it now, but you're from this part of the coast. What about people like the Gullah Geechee?
The people of the Gullah Geechee, that creates a conundrum more than anything.
What I thought.
Because they were brought over as stock.
Yes.
Right, from Western Africa, from Ghana and Sierra Leone. Well, most of the Gullah Geechee, they trace back to Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
And then the ones that came later came from Barbados. They come from Martinique. They come from Montserrat. Right. Yeah. They came later years in when they was bringing slaves up the coast. So that creates a conundrum too, right? With that, but they're not part of the original peoples of this land. Now, some of the Gullah Geechee, some of them did, integrate with the Seminoles, with the Lumbee, right?
Well, the Lumbee was never a tribe; they were a break off of the Cherokee.
Yeah, they were a break off of Cherokee. Correct. That's exactly correct. Because their thing is right outside of Birdtown, North Carolina, is where their eastern branch of their reservation. Yeah. Right.
They're in the Lumberton, Chinquapin area. My grandmother is from that area.
Okay.
She's actually from Chinquapin. But it's, Duplin County, Onslow County, and a little westward of that. But it's one of those things where I've always wondered about the Gullah Geechee as far as the census goes, because it is its own kingdom. It is you got a queen, for crying out loud.
Yeah. That is correct.
I mean, Marquetta is absolutely doing a fantastic job with it.
Yeah.
But like I said, it is its own individual basically country inside of the United States.
Right, that's correct. Just like the Cherokee Nation, just like Navajo Nation, same thing. Yeah, same exact thing. But that's a whole legal conundrum that needs to be solved a little bit later on, right? Because in order to be quote unquote right a country or a nationality, you got to have a seal of commerce. You got to have your own language, whichever language you adopt. Right. And you got to have a seal. You got to have all that stuff. But I'm not going to run down through there how to develop a nation, become a nation. That's not a third. But the United States government uses this concept to get people to deny their bloodline and their lineage. And then they're going to talk about changing a few things and adding one, Mina, to this. You're really going to confuse people because people, Middle East and North Africa, what are you going to dub them? Because if they're African, right? If they're African, I mean, let's keep it all the way real. We got 5 minutes, so let's keep it all the way real, right?
Okay.
People that are in MENA, Middle East, North Africa, majority of them are Semites. Yeah. Right? They are, and if black is a racial group from Africa, what does that make people that identify with MENA? Yeah.
Well, you look at it. Okay, but you look at it. You have the Moors, you have the Egyptians, you have the Ethiopia. Well, Ethiopia is a little bit further south, I think.
Yeah, they're south.
But you do have groups within that MENA group who would be considered black.
Yep, that's exactly according to the United States government. That is correct.
So now you have two separate groups of people of a certain race or racial group, as they're calling them. It makes absolutely no sense to me.
It makes no sense because, again, race is a concept created by the U.S. government. Now, let's throw another curveball at the people. The only people that uses this concept of race are NATO countries. If you go to a country, for example, let's say like Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
You go
it's tribal.
Right. You know what I'm saying? They look at you like you're black, you're what? Yeah. You're from the United States. You might have origins in Africa somewhere, but you're not black. They look at you like you're stupid. Like, you identifying with a color, bruh? What you mean? What's your nationality? And I've ran into that a million times when I've been in the Middle East. Right? They'd be like, oh, he goes, I'm back in my young days. Yeah, I'm black. This, that, and the third. I didn't know better. And they're like, you identify as a crayon? I'm like, what you mean?
Yeah.
What's your nationality? Oh, I'm from the United States. So you're United States national. No, I'm black. No, you're United States national. And then the old guy took me down through there and explained to me, he was like, look, in our country, and this time, I was in Egypt at this point in time, right? This was this was a couple years after 9/11. And the guy showed me, he was like, look, these are our applications for stuff. Do you see black, white, or any of that on here? You see Sudanese, you see Egyptian, you see Libyan. You don't see black or white on here. He's like, your American government have you guys so screwed up over there and denying who you are. You can't even piss straight. I'm like, damn. And that's when I started getting on his own, find out why they say this stuff. And then it took me a few years to understand it. You know what I mean? And then I met my dude Evergreen on TikTok. He's a fellow Marine. He listens every now and again. And was like, and we started collaborating and trying to figure these extra things. I was like, damn, they've been hoodwinking us. They've been hoodwinking us since Jim Crow. They've been hoodwinking us since the late 1800s on this whole thing because nobody was identifying as black during Reconstruction. They were all Negroes or Moors during Reconstruction. There were no black people. And then all of a sudden, they just flipped the script and everybody's black during Jim Crow. Come on, man. The government created that construct on purpose and used these definitions on purpose to corral people in. This is just crazy.
See, and the thing is what a lot of people don't understand, particularly here in the South, is that to call someone black was a derogatory term.
That's correct.
it has continued to this day, and people have accepted it as just a descriptor.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a derogatory term.
Yep.
See, I don't consider you black. I consider you hot chocolate.
Oh, shit. Stop.
Same with Gina.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
But no, seriously, I mean, it was all through Jim Crow. To be called black was to be insulted. You were belittled. You were less than human if you were called black.
Yep, that's right.
And it's continuing today, and people have just accepted it as a skin color. No, it's not. I'm looking right at him, and he's not black. He's brown.
Yeah. And
you know,
that's
my adopted sister and her husband and their kids, they're not black. Right. They're dark brown.
So here's my message to the we got to go about 45 seconds here.
Sure.
This is my message to these so-called, they call themselves woke, they call themselves these white saviors out here on social media, and they talk about, we got to fight the white supremacy. Well, guess what? You know how you fight this white supremacy boogeyman that you've created? You go directly and take the boot off your neck of the people that put it there, that created this concept, this construct to push out oppression, taxation, and extortion upon the people of the United States. You go to them and tell them you need to remove this because this is the oppressive measure on all different colors of skin. But you don't want to do that because you want a virtue signal, right, off of a bunch of people you think are destitute. If y'all were really serious, you woke social justice warriors, if you were really about that life, you would tell the government, you need to destroy this concept of race. We need to start identifying as people or our nationalities. You need to choose one. But this color crayon box thing has caused more problems and more division in this country than anything ever has in this country. And I said what I said.
Amen.
I said what I said. Huh?
Look, I can guarantee you nobody has ever looked at me and said, ooh, copy paper.
Yeah, right, exactly. Bleach demon.
Bleach demon. That one I've been called. Actually, I've been called a white devil, but, you know.
You're a white devil. Good.
I'm a white devil, evidently, so, you know.
Oh, man, we got to wrap this thing up. We got to wrap this thing up. Hey, I appreciate y'all for coming through as always. Make sure you guys stop back by on Sunday for Chasing Life, Liberty, and Monarchy. I don't know who's going to be on yet, but it's going to be fire anyway. So always make sure you do the things and be safe this weekend. Summer is almost upon us. Almost. Yes, I'm calling summer, but it is what it is. Until next time, y'all. Life, love, liberty, and happiness. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Southern Liberty Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others. Post about it on social media. Subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.bpmg.us or leave a rating and review on iTunes. To catch all the latest from Roderick, you can follow him on social media at manofjustice007. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.